In a surprise announcement, Shadow Warrior 3 was gifted a release date, and it's coming sooner than you may think. It'll be launching on March 1st, but that's not even the best part. Sony is finally throwing in their hand and releasing Shadow Warrior 3 Day 1 on PS Now. This is obviously the first sign of them trying to keep up with the Xbox Game Pass. While this is not a very large leap, it's at least a small step to compete with Microsoft, though this is comparable to fly buzzing. It's a little annoyance. It is also, however, a promising tell from Sony, who usually has a pretty decent poker face regarding their future plans for PS Now. Then again, I did kind of expect a move like this from Sony. They kind of have to, and it was rumored a few months ago. It's been rumored for probably longer than that, actually. That being said, that's not the focus of today's video. Today I'm going to be giving my thoughts on the gameplay trailer for Shadow Warrior 3 and just what I expect it to be. Thank you guys for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't know, I reviewed Shadow Warrior 2 in the past. It's actually my most viewed video to date, and that's for a good reason. Shadow Warrior is a franchise people have been playing for decades, too, to be exact. Shadow Warrior 3 seems to be keeping all of the charm of the past games, with Wang being as Wang-tastic as always. It also has some things I'm kind of worried about. We'll get into that. It's obvious they're going with a more Doom-based gameplay loop, evident by the ammo and health drops coming from enemies depending on whether you're using melee or ranged attacks. Now, we knew all of this before, of course, but this extended gameplay just gave us a better glimpse. For instance, they showed off the grappling hook a bit more, and it does seem really interesting, don't get me wrong, but recently it appears almost all games need a grappling hook to even be considered a game. I wonder how long this mechanic is going to take before it starts getting old, or if it'll even get old at all. So far, every game I play with the grappling hook adds a lot more options to approach different situations, so honestly, I can't be mad at it. There's also a mechanic where you can use a takedown on certain enemies, and in doing so, you will rip them apart, obtaining limited use weapons that look as badass as they are gruesome. Something I want to put more emphasis on is Shadow Warrior 3 is changing the looting system, or at least that's what I take away from the trailers and interviews I've heard over the past year. One thing I think I've liked most about Shadow Warrior 2, besides Wang himself, of course, but the one thing that kept me excited to beat that next mission or that next boss was the variety of weapons, almost all of which had their own special traits and looks to them. If this system is completely ripped out, completely gone, then I'm afraid it won't be the game I was hoping for. However, this doesn't mean it's going to be a bad game. Quite the opposite. In fact, it looks incredibly fun to play. But it seems like it may be more of a one-shot story with a shorter overall experience instead of the complicated loot, mission, and leveling experience from the second game, where you can basically play for as long as you want with a purpose. Changing this may disappoint a lot of people. I'm still going to play and review it without a doubt, and I still may yet be surprised. The visuals look very clean, action situations look very well directed, enemy and location variety seem even more insane than ever before, which I actually think that's the most enticing part to me. The levels and areas shown off look so incredibly weird in the best of ways, and the enemies look straight out of a cartoon nightmare only the oddest minds could come up with. Also, those unique one-time use weapons I just discussed look a lot like some of the loot you would get from Shadow Warrior 2, so maybe that's how they're bringing that system over into the third game. They're just changing it up and doing it on a smaller scale. I guess it goes without saying, I didn't expect this announcement so damn soon or in this way, which is funny because I was just thinking about when we're gonna hear something about it, and I'm so excited we finally did. Now we know. What about you guys? Are you gonna be picking up PS Now just to check this one out? If you've never subscribed to PS Now, you can actually go on there and get a free trial and just play it that way. Either way, I would love to hear your thoughts on what you want for the game. Is changing up the loot system something you'll appreciate, or is it something you kinda wanted to see an improvement on instead of being completely gutted out? Maybe there is some similar types of progression in the game that we just aren't aware of yet. Luckily, we only have to wait a week to find out, which is awesome. As always, thank you guys for watching. This news just broke, so I just had to cover it. And by the time you're watching this, I'll be soul deep into Elden Ring. Hopefully, I'll be able to pull myself out of that game to bring a review for you guys. Until then, I'll see you in the next video. I'm out of here.